handling, but it is totally different. Whenever we are in some observable environments, we are not observing and we are very neutral and calm, we are very tranquil. Whenever we should be tranquil for decision making in our problems, we are totally collapsed and perplexed. So this type of speed regulation is the capability of proper mind-taming exercise. It is known as speed regulation. First thing is positive transversion. What is positive transversion? It is converting everything. That's what I told in a seminar of waste recycling and management. Any waste you are saying that we can recycle, except the nuclear hazardous waste. Most of the wastes are there. They are either minimizable, they are recyclable, they are storable, processable and convertible and also linkable with any other devices for further run. So it is processable by all means. Then we told that God has created waste in such a manner that it can be converted to energy. Why you are converting all of your energy into waste? It is totally reciprocated. That's why we thought that there should be the work of mind in which everything can be converted into positive. It does not mean that you should be irresponsible or careless. A proper governance of sagacity which can come only by practice, not by hearing. I am Atma Pravachanena Labhya, na maya dheyana bhuna shrute. So whatever we hear, whatever we speak and whatever intellectually it is incorporated without having inner incorporation and self-involvement and divine destiny wish and his gracious shower, it will not happen at all. And we should qualify ourselves to be a good reservoir. At least we should be a receptor, even not a reservoir. So we should qualify. That's why the Shastra says that you need not get everything. You need not get anything at all even. You qualify yourself to be a good container, then everything should automatically come because you are having your own innate status of perfection. The Atma itself is Purna. That is what our philosophy teaches, that we are everything and we have. The thing is, we are not having that knowledge that we have everything and that has been covered by an illusory murky sheath. Second thing is, whenever there is some qualified persons to deal something with us, you are not having the proper receptacle. The container, if it is totally murky, if it is dirty, or if you are having an inverted container and somebody is pouring the milk out, how it will go inside. So there should be a proper placement, positional as well as the purity sentiments for these containers, etc. So positive transversion is the skill of the mind. Second thing is very interesting. The mind, it has innumerable dimensions, you know that. The first dimension, second dimension, third dimension is very much interesting. It is very interesting to know here. What is that? The first dimension of mind deals with the problems. The same mind, if you go deeper, you can find the solutions. The same mind, if you go further deeper, inside the same mind, there is freedom. Freedom from further problems. So, solution, the same thing, it has also the freedom. The problem, it has its own consecutive state known as solution. So, it is a very wonderful model. It is known as PSF model. In modern physics, they say that. They have understood the work of mind by transcendental meditation exercises. They say that if you go this level, we say that if you go this level, you can get water. If you go to that level, you can get gold. If you go to that inside, you can get petroleum. If you go here, you can reach Patala Loka. So innumerable depths are there. Like that, the mind has also got three major depths by which we can attain this area. So the person's ability to go deeper by means of practice. At the time of problems, how can he practice going deeper? Can any person with sanity imagine the possibility of going deeper at the time of problems? So think that you are having problems in abundance of your fertility. At the time of absence of your problems, at the time of your budding ages, that is why we say that at the time of budding ages, even before birth, the person should be controlled by means of some sort of sanskaras, refinery exercises. So we say that there is problem, solution and freedom levels. And third thing is link and liberty context of mind. What is link and liberty? When to link the mind with and where to link and where to liberate it. It is not possible for a normal mind. Metaphysical exercise deals with where to entangle if it is a positive companionship and how to withdraw or disentangle whenever you want liberty. That is also there. And one more thing we say that mind is having three stages. One is crystallized stage of mind, systematized stage of mind and utility stage of mind. Whenever the mind is crystallized, as well as systematized and utilizably designed, then mind instead of becoming a problem, it becomes a troubleshooter for yourself as well as a solution designer for everybody who are available with you. That is the greatest of mind. The problem of mind is non-cooperation as well as unholy alliance. Non-cooperation with mind does not cooperate with, it is like India, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, India, Afghanistan, like that. Just as India and our mind are the soul's position is in no way separable or distinguishable. It is surrounded by all unholy alliances. So it is also having the same problem with intellect, with 4, with environments, with the mutual persons also, the mind has a lot of frictions. And if there is any attraction, that becomes a pernicious attraction of the mind with various areas. So they say that if the mind is metaphysically envisioned, how to start? Start with problems. Problems are not the ending points for your exercises. They are the starting points, or they are the stimulators, or they are the compressors or compulsory agents which drive you towards the necessity of gaining some metaphysical experience. So considering problems as the golden opportunities for entering into metaphysical experiences, at least for problem relief and for ultimate or utmost relief, we can go later, we should enter inside. Mind has 3 stages. One is attainment stage, second is achievement stage, third is accomplishment stage. If the mind can balance itself, that type of comprehensive mind stage is known as attainment. If the mind can develop into intellect and everything, or if it is not only placid in nature but also potential in active and executive precision, then the mind becomes achievement. Even though these things appear to be synonymous, attainment is something which lakhs of people can do, provided they do the proper practice and fellowship. And achievement is only few thousands of people can do. And accomplishment is only handful of infinitesimal people those can do. So if you get spiritual realization, that is an accomplishment. If you get a sturdy knowledge as well as application with innovative realization, that is known as achievement. If you get mind balance, at least peace inside you, that is an attainment. These 3 categorizations are there, gradually maintain mind practice. And what is intellect and how we can gauge with intellect? I have already told how academics have successfully failed with that. Number 1 is, now the intelligence available here is not real intelligence at all. In one seminar on rain, I told that now we are not receiving any rain at all. Any rain is not a divine grant now. Those things are the harmful byproducts or non-seasonal byproducts of cyclone, depression, atmospheric variation and typhoons. Whatever the rain that we get, that should be Satvristi. Only in Satvristi good people will be born, crops will flourish, diseases will perish, people will be happy, and the whole kingdom will be there amidst prosperity and mutual harmony. And any such Asatvristi or Apavrishti that which comes, we know only Ativrishti and Anavrishti. You should know about Satvrishti and Asatvristi also. If that comes, then political instability, king's demise, lot of new diseases, like new doctors are coming and new medical research is coming. It's a mutual challenge between doctors as well as the diseases. So these things come in Asatvristi. Like that here also, intellect should come from the natural immanence of a person. Apart from coming from the natural immanence, it comes from desire. I want to learn, though I am doing, whether I am qualified or not. It is by desire I am doing. Demand. Tomorrow I have to write the exam. Somehow I have to push and rush and do the things. It is by demand. Emergency. I need that and I want to do that. So now the intelligence that is there with all the school students is a desire product, demand product, or an emergency product. Nothing is there from real intelligence. It is the thing that you have to understand here today. So there is no real intelligence at all. So how to create that intelligence? How to make that real intelligence flourish for people? The Shastra said that there are few exercises for getting that. One is, normally we are seeing whenever somebody is speaking, we cannot follow that. Rapid and collateral following is not there with the most of the listeners. Like shorthand, they are having a short sprint, which is not cooperating with the velocity and propensity of a person's presentation. So they should develop that. There is an art for that. And apart from that, there is also a parallel thinking and perpendicular thinking exercise. What is perpendicular thinking, parallel thinking? Parallel thinking is thinking in the same way. Perpendicular thinking is a diversified thinking which can produce a very great transformation or reforms in the idea. That should be there. And the intellect has innumerable potencies which we have worshipped as devatas. That is number 1, logical verifier. Second, cogent analyst is there inside the mind. Third thing, there is a pragmatist inside. Fourth thing, apart from pragmatism, we are having innumerable sensations inside. Pragmatism is how to develop. See, now a person interested in intellectual research, he is not a pragmatist at all. Any person knowing things, he cannot do things. Any person doing, they are not succeeding. The intelligence, as per the Shastra's Veda, it says that everything they create a common compound. So the same person having the logical pursuit, the same person has cogency. The same cogent person, he becomes a pragmatist. The same person can have multilateral encompassment. The same person has desire drive or stimulation towards creativity. The same person has not relief, that is known as Granthi Mochana, Vidhyate Hridaya Granthi. That is different in philosophical, but Granthi Mochana or not relief is there in science. in cognitive drill. See, whenever you want to think about what is this disease or what is this phenomena, you just close your eyes and go to that level by means of your practice. You can automatically see that Tashmin Drishte Paravare, naturally in the inner conscious level, you can see the knot relief. Then second is the root guide. We can get the root automatically inside in intelligence. So knot relief, root guide, conceptive mapping, concept blow. If you get a small concept like a balloon blowing, you can blow the concept with hypothesis, antithesis, thesis, derivation, demonstration and success. We can go through it. That is conceptive blow. Conceptive blow is also a very great skill useful for scientists. But nobody is having that. But how they are getting, modern people, how they are getting science? Most of the people, they are using their intellects for self-centric nature and serendipity. We used to call it serendipity in English language, accidental invention of people. Whenever they do some work with any other colorful agents, something should happen. Anything that is connected with something, something should happen. Whether they have warranted it or they have designed for something else, something will happen. Most of the incidents in the industry of innovation or scientific invention is serendipity. So there should be targeted thing, and also there is one more power of the intellect known as sectional assembly and experiential assembly. Whenever you see something there, whenever you see something here, whenever you experience something before few years and today, you can assemble everything and correlate and create a configured model for identifying. These 10 powers are special potentialities of our intellect. Apart from that, these things are socially socializable or approachable. Apart from that, there is perspicacity, that is sukshma jnana, and clairvoyance, trikala jnana, transcognition, atita jnana. These things we need not have. But we can have these basic elements of logical sequencing, cogent driving, and also by means of inner assembly, multilateral encompassment. We can develop the art of knot relief, we can go for root mapping, we can go for some sort of study of grouping and teaming as well as assembling of our sectional and experiential models. We can go for various other things that are useful for our academic, professional and scientific excellence. We can go for that. So, coming to spirit, what is soul? It is a very great question. There is a very great lecture which was done by a lot of people and they could not conclude anything progressively. Unfortunately, it is about the criticalities and complexities of the theory of soul. If it is soul, there is some singular indivisible element, how cloning is happening, how pregnancy is happening, how spatial multitude is there, how population increase is there. So a lot of complexities are placed for the eternal soul theories. And also philosophically, there is Ekatmavada, Niratmavada is there, which is called as Jiva Ishvara Swarupa Aikyavada, that does not deal with the multitude of souls here. Philosophically, there are innumerable things that there is one soul and there are two souls and there are innumerable souls and it is an illusory reflex. So innumerable things are there. And coming to here, today's context, there are a few questions we want to say. Is soul something distinct from what we are seeing? Is soul a single individual element or collective consciousness of the whole elements of the body? Is it dependent on something or it is a driver of everything? There are the 5 major primary questions. Then 3 more questions are there. Is soul biological or supernal in nature? Is it perpetual or it is totally perishable in nature? If there is something soul, is it specific? Hridihi, Avirodha, Shandanava. There are 2 sutras in Brahma Sutra that in Hridaya only there is soul. Somebody asked a question. We are doing bypass operation and heart operation, various cardiac surgical exercises are there. What will the soul do? So you should understand that the name of Hridaya to the pumping machine is attributive. That is not inherent name. The real name of Hridaya, it means the endoetheric reticulum. There is an ether inside, there is a space inside, the Harakasha or Chidakasha, and that is called by Hridaya. Any person carrying mangoes will be called as mango. Avasthite kashikritsaha. There is a sutra about that. Tat sadvad anupashyanti kyeka eveti sadavaha. If something is residing in something, in colloquial usage or even in shastric or philosophical culture or context, the same thing can be called with the nomenclature of the base in which it is situated. So as this pumping machine is situated in the ether, it has been attributed collectively by the name Hridaya, which is the real name for the ether, not the pumping machine. It is known as Rudhiramani or something else we have to put. It cannot be just connected with the Akasha. That is placed there. So it is known as locative nomenclature. What is it? Locative nomenclature. Something that is fixed the status, it also connectively is infectious of the name that is attributed to its substratum. That is the so. According to soul, there are innumerable such theories, whether it is specific inside a place or ubiquitous inside the body. And there are one more thing: is soul? What is the final destination of soul? What is solubility theory? Soul will be totally. It will be made soluble. It will dissolve. That is solubility theory. And second is sustainability theory. It will be in eternity. Third thing is servability. It serves God. It gets into Kainkariya. That is the Vaishnava school of thought. And fourth thing is settlement theory, like Salokya or Kaivalya, in which just it resides. So innumerable theories about spiritualism is there. These things are very philosophical. There is a second dimension of spirituality which I want to contextually present here. How it is possible? Number one, spirit means not the soul. Here, that is some material, connective, immediate possibility of approaching the spiritual means spirit is nothing but urge, courage and leverage of our activism. Somebody said he is working with a spirit. He is possessed with a spirit. He is a spirit. He is testing with a spirit. All these four things are different. Testing with a spirit in a laboratory. He is possessed with a spirit, that is known as evil. He is a spirit known as Atma. He is working with a spirit, that is known as determination or dynamism. So that is contextual meanings. So here I want to present to the society, immediately understand urge, having the inexhaustible dynamism to take care of your work is known as spirituality. Second thing is courage, not only urge. Most of the people have urge to the society. They do something for the society. Why don't they work it out? Because they don't have the courage to work. Third thing is leverage. How many people are courageously working, but it is not creating any leverage in the society because of lack of integrity and other things. So, spirituality here is to create the urge inside a person, to create courage to present the urge, and to create a very conspicuous leverage in the society as an impact of their courage. That is one thing. Second thing is stages of elasticity. What is stages of elasticity? If basically you are having some power, that is 10 units of power you are having. And second, whenever there is your need or emergency, it will become 20. It will be pushed. Whenever there is some sort of support or very great confidence inside you, you can get it to 30. Whenever you are empowered, you can get 40. Whenever you are getting into the supply potential of your nature, you can do everything. So immediately, to take the persons to do everything or anything is not possible. But gradually a person, each and every person can do at least 10 times of what they are doing. Because of lack of proper instigatory resources, they are not doing. Any person like me or anybody else, they can do 10 times more than what they are doing. When they become 10 times more, at that stage they can do 10 times more. So they are having their own multiple proportionate work because it is God created. It is God created. God has given all resources. God has given all resources and has created some sort of, it is known as, God is Swatantra and we are Paratantras, we are all dependent. But God has given a responsibility of freedom. It is known as also Swatantra Paratantriya and Paratantra Swatantriya. We are given some sort of dependence, but that type of dependence with God is natural. We are also given independence, but independence, the rate of independence is dependent on God. So God has given few independent units to us to integrate and to organize everything. He has not created houses. He has not created crops. He has not created cultivation. He has not created clothes and ornaments. He has created raw materials as well as inducive methodologies for implementing the same thing by means of a scientific and industrial supplementation. He has created everything. He has given two provisions. One is external provisions, second is inner provisions or internal provisions, and integral provisions to assemble within you to create a federation to do everything successfully. So God has given everything to you. So here metaphysics deals with a person's immediate possibility or capacity and a person's circumstantially provoked possibility, and third thing is confident or faith designing or engineering. Fourth thing is spiritual or systematic empowerment. If a person is properly given, he can be 100 times productive and his status of lethargy, status of diversion, status of disloyalty, everything should be thrown out. So to create a contributive society and future or youth, political reforms cannot do anything. They can exasperate the condition and create, they can prepone the turmoil and create some sort of disorder in the society or abnormality. They cannot create. No ethical reforms, no educational reforms, no economical reforms or political reforms can bring that unless the soul of the society by spiritual understanding is very much organized. All the other reforms will be just in vain and pain. So here I want to conclude by saying that this spiritual urge should be developed inside the people in empowering the people more to contribute much towards their own things. It is possible only by few sources, few practices and few applications and also some steps for doing that. And what are the sources for getting that? There are innate sources you can get. Naturally we have some thought, a droplet of thought for doing something. Progressive, whenever you are thinking more and more and associating with good people, you can get progressive sources. The third thing is external sources are there, a lot of people they can give you something. Retrogressive sources, whenever you are getting into problem, that's what great people say, great patriots are born at the time of social challenges. Like that retrogressive sources are whenever you are in despair or in isolation, you can get that knowledge more, that is also a source. And there is initiative source given by a realized person. Informative source is there. Informative source is also 4 types. One is exemplary source, taking from somebody's life. Experiential source, taking from somebody's medley of various other exposures. And also some sort of explorable sources by which somebody has totally analyzed all of these things and productively given. And endo-evidential axiomatic sources which are known as the Vedas. In Vedas we are having 4 major problems. Everybody they ask for. Vedas they are in the stage of infancy. Vedas are very primitive in nature. Vedas should be considered only as literature. It deals with only extolation of some deities of that primitive period. It's not something that even a lot of the people believing the Vedas, they are not very much cleared about one, relevance of the Vedas, second, advancement of the Vedas, third, connectivity and progression that is dealing with the Vedas, fourth thing, the exhaustive encapsulation of universal wisdom inside the Vedas that should be very much taught to the people. These are the various sources. And second thing, what are all the various practices available? All of our practices are interim practices, are desire-oriented practices, are ephemeral practices. Second thing is double gaining. Our spiritual practices are different from other modes of life or walks of life. So we are not having that particular normal ideology by which we can make these practices successful. So we have from the Shastras few models where we can develop something in the society. Number one, the first model is, it is impressionable incorporation model. Taking small impressionable kids before conception, that is pre-conceptive inner imaginary by the parents, and at the time of intra-uterine academy by which the parents can teach to the child just as Prahlada was taught inside the womb. That is that after birth, whenever a person is in the infant stage, he can be taught at all. So this thing is known as impressionable incorporation. And second thing is a system of marketing, understanding the craze and demand of the society. The people are crazy about few things and they are having need for something. Unless you tailor and design your spiritual education in such a way that it deals with that craze as well as that need in the society, you cannot market that. That is number 2. Craze and need or requisite, it should be designed with that. Third thing is therapeutic use. Everybody is suffering with diseases. So anything you call it as a therapy, otherwise people will not recognize that. Even if you are talking about Gita, instead of saying about Gita, they will think that it is the name of some other neighbor. So you say Gita therapy, they will be astonished. What? New therapy, I have never heard that. So by means of this new mania, if the people will approach, they will throng in numbers. So the third thing is therapeutic approach of people. So all of these various things are to be incorporated in the society for creating a lot of things. There are few models by which we can make some certain things, targeted things in the society. One is incubation center for good children. Second is empowered academics for good students and children by means of proper subjecting to real wisdom or goal-oriented wisdom. Third thing is professional excellence. Fourth thing is inner drug delivery. Without digital or external drug delivery, developing inner drug delivery, getting your own mind as medicine, your own personal restraint as medicine. The fifth thing is intuitive alert. How to develop intuitive alert and understand things after happening, everybody can understand. Somebody told, I'll predict your future if it becomes the past. Anybody can predict the future if it becomes the past. So intuitive alert that deals how to move with people and how to correspond to environmental stimuli. This you can develop by spiritual experience. Sixth thing is defense. We can create national security and defense in various places also. So apart from this, it can also help in environmental remediation. I delivered a lecture on pollution. I told that thought pollution is equally worse than any other pollution. They talk about wind pollution, air pollution, nuclear waste pollution. Like that, there is a thought pollution in the society which is more negative, which will advance the collapse of the earth more than its determined period. So we want to create a thought purification process. So this type of metaphysical experience can be utilized as an academic training by which the persons can be coached for getting into environmental remediation by good thoughts. So there are space fillers there are air fillers, and there are consecrational elements that are there which can be contributed by your mind, and targeted, good, non-result oriented thought rays and emissions by which we can create that. So there should be an information center for that, there should be a teaching academy, there should be a training academy, and there should be a syllabus for that, there should be a course for that, and we should go for two things. If your life is moving for spiritual knowledge, that is known as spiritual hunt. If you make your life with spiritual belief, that is known as spiritual approach. So from spirituality you can approach your life, or for spirituality you can take your life as a hunt. So there is spiritual hunt approach and spiritual approach. So by unless all of these things are systematically made, each and everybody having an institution, having some sort of reliability and repute in the society, they are doing a lot of things by their vociferous demands, commands and requests to the society by means of a lot of speeches. See, all of these oratory and laboratory exercises, they are not going to come for rescue. Only preparatory exercise is to get a silent, radiant, inbuilt effulgence of divine immanence by which we can contribute to thousands of people in silence. We can reach 1 lakh people in distance. We can cover everybody in imminence and immanence rather than making people by transportation and communication devices. I wish that in this auspicious day of a birthday celebration, more than a person's birthday, a new concept or already existing concepts, a new dimension, or already existing new dimensions, or old dimensions, new approach, or already existing old approach, new initiation or renewal of our divine responsible license for social empowerment has been undertaken today. So it is a birthday also for a concept, also for an application, also for an exercise or academy in its bija, that is seed level, which we have got inside our mind. So it is a birthday of various things, which should be the Independence Day and birthday for a new era where everybody can at least imagine living in peace and harmony.
Narayan.